Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Older women cheating with younger men. Man, this is a theme that's been coming up. Even though I don't advertise it, I do consultations. And stuff. And what I've been getting is a lot of younger men, because anybody who's done a consultation with me knows one of the first questions that I ask is, how old are you? And everything. And it's between them, and then I have an inner circle of young men who be letting me know stuff, young select men. Because one of the main things I do is, if you're gonna call me like a coach or something, I'm more of a coach for select men. Yeah, I put out stuff to help non-select men get there, but I help select men, especially younger ones, really navigate that world. And speaking of which, let me go on a tangent real quick, because every now and then I get a detractor saying, oh, you don't know what's going on out here and everything. I got consultations with guys in their early 20s, inner circle men, young men who let me know what's going on out there. And then both my sons are teenagers, so I have to know what's going on out there with the younger people. And really, it's no different really than what's going on overall. It's man trying to get woman, woman trying to get man, all of that stuff. So you break it down to that level. Oh, and incidentally, the younger men very rarely talk about they got some woman on Tinder or something. And they be getting theirs, very rarely. So anyway, though, one thing that's been coming up either from my inner circle young men or my consultation clients is an older woman giving them some. And the average age of the woman is typically in their 40s. The average age of the young man is typically 21. This is a constant theme. This is a constant theme. In fact, I talked about this several times on my Patreon. And even a young man hit me up and he wanted me to discuss, he was dealing with an older woman. And that's not just dealing with the older women, but older women cheating. Older women cheating. And I'm gonna tell you what the common scenario is. Okay, you get some woman, she might have been in love or whatever, or something, or pragmatic, and I'm gonna get with that pragmatic thing next week. With some guy, might have a kid or two, or just married to him. She in her 40s, she cheating with some young guy. It could be a lot of times it might be an office fuck file case. It might be a situation where he lives in the neighborhood. He could be the young guy, for a side hustle cutting her grass. You know how that go. He been cutting that grass and stuff. He got that young sweaty body. And she said, hey, you want some water? Yes, ma'am, I'll take some water. Well, come on in. Yeah, that shirt's awfully sweaty. Why don't you take it off? Here's a towel. All of a sudden, the husband, he out of town. I'll say the my bad thing for my car videos. It works better there. But that's a serious thing that happened. I'm serious. That's a serious dynamic. And, we won't even get into all these school teachers. And now the school teachers are range in age. Ironically, the school teachers might be in their 20s and the boys in their teens. They're still older. And I'm gonna tell you what that is. It really comes down to one thing: sex. I'm gonna tell y'all something now. Whenever women saying they cheating because, they emotional reasons or something like that, I call straight cap on it. Because usually a lot of times with the guy, they can talk with the guy that they cheating on. Emotionally, they have a tight thing, but they'll say, he's like my brother, he's like my roommate or something. Nah, they want sex because they specifically go for a young man. And what that young man got is just a basic thing. His body is going to be tighter. And his joint works. It's really that simple. And he got more energy. He got more energy. And see, one of the things with women, as they get older, especially after they had a couple kids, their defenses for sex go up. Their defenses for sex goes up. Now, I've said this before in a video, some guys didn't get it, and I can already tell they don't deal with enough women. Women are looser then. When I say looser, they want that sex, they want that pleasure. You know, some of them have had like their tubes tied or something like that, but they want that pleasure. They operating off of lust then. Because usually when women are younger, you know, they gotta be pragmatic. As I said, I'm gonna discuss that in my next video next week. But they gotta be pragmatic about things. They gotta be pragmatic. They gotta deal, you know, they gotta think, okay, you know, the culture, the church, whatever, social class say I need to be married. Let me get that guy. They'll get some guy who is, you know, he's decent. You know, if she have kids with him, they're not gonna look bad. You know, at a decent level, it's like, okay, he got something going on. You know, he looks decent, so a kid wouldn't look too bad, or else my looks will carry it. Something like that, right? And usually when it's on that, the lust part isn't there. The lust part isn't there. So they still got it. So they see that young guy, he got that tight body, everything. He's young, and you know, a young man, shoot, he bouncing around. He got that testosterone flowing a little bit better. He bouncing around. And that's only some of them. Of course, there's all the argument about those young men who have problems with that. That's not even something I'm even gonna bother to address. I'll let somebody else talk about that. But you get these young guys, they look good to the women. They got that energy and everything and stuff. And especially if the woman stays in shape. See, one thing, if a woman stays in shape and stuff, her blood's flowing better to her vagina. She got more energy. Her breasts are likely to be perkier. Now, is she going, well, does she have like that supermodel look? Well, typically not, especially since less than 1% of women have that. But what she will have is just basically she's have that horniness. Hey, she still want to feel sexually attractive. That doesn't go away. I'm gonna let y'all know that doesn't go away with women unless they just had some serious trauma. But they get that young guy. In fact, that's why you get women who go on sex vacations. You know, they head to Bali, or they head to Jamaica, or they headed to the Gambia or Kenya, or they headed to like Turkey, like any place. Particularly women from the United States and Western Europe and stuff. And we won't get into the other angle of it. I don't think some guys are ready. So whatever the case, they just simply want that younger guy. And it does come down to, well, it can come down to several factors with their husbands. You know, the husbands, they older, didn't keep their drive up, might have gotten lazy, didn't keep their body up. You know, their joints ain't working the same way and everything, and boom, there's some issue. And indeed, the only women who are less likely to cheat, their husband still got that energy up. But that's the pure thing. That's it. Like they can't, what they gonna say? Oh, I'm going with this. The woman she probably married, the husband got a nice house for her, nice car. You know, she got her own job. They got money. What's she going for that young guy? It ain't his money. And typically, especially if he's in his young 20s, he typically ain't gonna have some like magic mouthpiece or anything, like he seduced her or something. Nah, in most cases, she the one went after him. She the one said he could get it. Hell, if they working on a job, he's on the office fuck file. Shout out Cousin T-Talk. That's a serious thing. That's a serious thing. And the young guys who, you know, they got their bodies right, look good to the women and stuff, they can tell you they've been in the office, some older woman hitting on them or something like that. And it's pure for sex. What emotional thing? I mean, yeah, he young, unless he just grew up in a totally jacked up, dysfunctional environment, he ain't gonna have the same emotional maturity as a 40-year-old. Or even that 40-year-old husband or something, you know? And it happens. It comes down to one thing, the sex thing. Because you still get guys out there that really don't understand a woman's sexual nature. And they only don't understand it for one simple reason. They're not getting any. That's it. They don't know, and they think their thing is universal. No, they just non-select. But it's happening. And plenty of young guys, when I'm just like, you know, I mean, you get guys call me, well, I'm calling them. They paid to speak with me, and they relating these stories or be trying to ask me how to handle it. Even had a couple young guys, they were like, okay, how can I get the older woman? She's doing this, that, and the third, like being blatant. And I was like, damn. And it is what it is, though. But the primary thing is that sexual thing. And guys got to just understand that. See, here's the thing. If overall men understand that just that one part of a woman's nature, everything changes. Trust me. Trust me. You understand that one part. If a man understands that, instead of getting mad, then he knows, okay, let me fix myself up sexually. And that's the key. That's the key. That's why everything that I promote, everything, all my products are about a man building up his sexual self, his sexual side, his sexual energy. Even body game, that's about building your sexual energy. Because that's what the women are looking for, period. Yeah, they got other stuff, of course, but if they're gonna cheat, they already got the husband, they already got all the other stuff. They cheating just for that D, all right? So, anyway, that's it for today and everything. I want y'all to really think about that, really consider it, okay? And any young men in their 20s who've had these experiences, or older men who had an experience in their 20s with a woman, older woman, hey, share in the comments. I'll share one thing with me. First older woman I got with, I was 22. She was 45 and everything. Oh man, I was like, wait a minute, what happened? She kidnapped me. Seriously, she did kidnap me. She's supposedly giving me a ride to my car and stuff. And I'm like, well, my car's that way, but I live this way. Okay. She was fine though. So anyway, I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.